you doing? Um, what I wanted to do today was just something pretty simple. Last year, during hang on, check 1 2. Hello, hello. Okay. Last year, let me just dip that jungle beats a touch. Last year on stream, I excuse me. I'm sick. Last year on stream, I flew all over New Zealand in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Sorry. Last year on Microsoft Flight Simulator, I flew all over New Zealand. I'm sick, so excuse my raspiness. I flew all over New Zealand, and it was genuinely like one of the most pleasurable things I think I did on stream last year. But sadly, because it was done on Twitch, that VOD is now gone, which is a major bummer, because it was genuinely a great time. So what I'm going to do today is, I'm just going to sit here and we're going to fly the Trans-American Highway. We're starting here in, oh, what's this place called again? Hang on a minute. Hang on. Ushuaia. Ushuaia is in Argentina. It's the very, very bottom of Argentina. And that's where we're going to start. That's where we're going to start our journey. We're gonna head up from Uppsala. Is that correct? Ushuaia. I'm going to follow the road up here. This is the number 3 highway. It's going to bring us all the way up through Argentina, across the Santa Cruz province. Then we're going to continue on the way up the coast. Long way until we meet Buenos Aires. From Buenos Aires, we're going to go west across to Santiago. From Santiago up through Chile. We're going to go through Bolivia, then we're going to go to La Paz, up through Peru into Lima, Ecuador, Quito, through Colombia, Medellin. We're going to go to Panama City, across Costa Rica, across El Salvador, Guatemala. Going to fly over Mexico City, up through Mexico, up through Mexico, up through Sinaloa. Sorry, the pronunciation of the Spanish places, I'm really bad at it. Up into New Mexico, Albuquerque, then Denver. Where are we going from Denver? Oh, Billings. From Billings, we're going to go up into Canada through Calgary, then Edmonton. Then we're going to go... Where are we going then? Oh, Alberta. Then we're going to head all the way west to Whitehorse. From Whitehorse, we're going to go to Fairbanks, Alaska, and then up into Prudhoe Bay. So we're going to fly the entire Americas, not in one go, but this is just roughly what I'm going to start doing today, because like when I did this on Twitch last year, it was great fun. So we'll stop along the way and we'll see what the sights are to be seen. So that should be good. We're doing it in our lovely Polaris here. Now, previously when I did a similar flight, I enjoyed doing it in my usual Cessna. The Cessna 152, which I genuinely believe I can fly. I genuinely believe that I can fly the Cessna 152. No problem whatsoever. Clearly I can't. But you know, a fella can dream. So we're going to take off from the Polaris. We're going to head north. Let's just real quick see where we're leaving. So this place is called Ushuaia, I believe. Let's just, before we take off, let's go into the town and get a few refreshments and libations. So, oh, Hard Rock Cafe, Dublin. Look at this. Well, we're in the Dublin Cafe. That's where we're going. What have they got here? Now, I'm very, very food fussy, right? And one of the things... Sorry, just checking my audio. One of the things that I'm really, really fussy about is lettuce on burgers. I really don't like burger grease. I like lettuce. I like burgers. But I really have a major dislike for burgers that have lettuce on them and burger grease. It's just something I cannot abide. But that's me, that's not them, that's not the Dublin pub. Look at this. You probably could not get any further away from Ireland. And here you are drinking in the Dublin pub. Jameson. Do they have Guinness? I wonder how are the pints? Oh, they've got their traditional Irish R2D2. That's the Irish astromech R2D2. Famously Irish character. There's a cloudy pint. Old school glass. Look at these Irish flags, look. We're everywhere. Hello. Now I like eggs. I like chips. Is that on a pizza? I like pizza. I like all of this. But in one go, ideally. Holy shit. I can't even begin. Surf and turf. Turf and turf. Now. So what we've done is we've got a skinful. What? What is that? So each... Why have they put olives on the corners? Those olives, you take this slice of pizza, that olive is going nowhere. You're not getting that olive. That olive is not for you. It's going on the plate. Slightly undercooked looking. Stellar Attoir in the Dublin pub. Look at that. Should bring a tear to your eye. I'd love to know the story about that. Have any Irish people ever worked there? You could not get further away. I don't see any Guinness taps either. What is this? Is that deep fried mussels in the Dublin pub? Simpsons, famous Irish content. More chips. They look double fried. They either look badly fried or double fried. I couldn't tell you. This person, that mayonnaise, I love mayonnaise, but God, with a flash on, just so they put the flash on their camera, just so they really got the whole thing. Here's the calamari again, or calamari. I don't see any pints of Guinness. These pints, I have to say, look slightly anemic, don't they? They're slightly anemic looking pints. No pints of Guinness. Alright, so we've had our skin full of beer at the Dublin pub. What are the reviews, by the way? Let's have a look at the reviews. Like, How could you review a pub like this badly? Oh, this person did. The atmosphere was very good. The service was not good. Had to ask servers repeatedly. Blah blah blah. Okay. Jeffrey Simmons was not happy. What is this? No. I'm very, very food fussy, so if ever I make any negative comments about food, I'm the problem. It's not the establishment. Keep that in mind, because I'm very, very food fussy. Another negative review. Absolutely dreadful service. Took 20 minutes to get a beer. What's that? What's that? Okay, we've gone to the Dublin pub. We've gone absolutely hog wild on their anemic beers. We're gonna head up to the museum here and see what's on. Let's see what's in the museum. This fella does not look happy. We'll pass that without comment. Or he's a fisherman or something, I guess. Look at this. Standard fort, standard diamond fort configuration. Let's just see if I'm correct on that assumption, am I? Where's my... How do I change that to image? No, don't want that. Any pictures? How do we get the satellite view? How does one achieve... Oh, here we go. Okay. Now, what did I tell you? Diamond Fort. Well, it's a prison, sadly, but in the classic configuration of a coastal diamond fort. Look at that. So anyway, what's going on here? You've seen that guy, he doesn't look the happiest. Penguins, of course. Oh, it's a jail. Beautiful. Look at that Grimmel spot. Alright. Enough of this. Let's get ready to take off. We're gonna... oh, hang on. Let me get my... Where is this? Up here. Now. The map. We're gonna have this off screen. Is this it? Yeah, okay. So, we're pretty much just gonna head up the coast. I'm gonna roughly follow the number 3 highway. Oh, that's the wrong game capture. We don't want that. Now, here we have a snag. Look. What happens if I close this? Okay. No, I guess just get rid of that altogether. Bye-bye. We'll navigate by Google. Grand. So we're going to head out here. We're going to head north for a wee while along the coast. Going to keep it low and slow. Because that's one thing I really enjoyed about the Cessna was that I did get a great view of the country. Because we were going so slow and low that you really did kind of get a good vibe of it. We're at full power here. Look at this beautiful plane. Pretty standard livery. The same as the Cessna I've been flying around in the past, actually. And the thing was that I wanted to fly the kite, the Cessna around here, but it doesn't actually... It can't fly in this part of the world, which was news to me. It's both too cold and the altitude is too high for the Cessna 152. So if you live in South America, the absolute tip of Argentina, and you plan on getting yourself a lovely Cessna 152 kite, Joe Biden here has bad news for you that it's not going to work. You're not going to be able to fly your plane in that part of the world. Bad news. Okay, so let's just get on with it. Let's get on with it. Now, I haven't got an awful lot of time in the Polaris, to be honest with you. Not a huge amount of time, but being a confident and very capable pilot, I have no fear of my abilities to get this bad boy off the ground. So I'm using a Logitech Extreme 3D Pro flight stick. That's a very long-winded and fancy name for what is essentially really the most basic of flight sticks you can get. But it's absolutely class, to be honest. Even though it's very, very basic, really does a great job. So, oh, hang on. Game capture is off. We want to do that. Okay. Now, we're at full speed. Where are the brakes? Yeah, where the brakes are. Oh. There we are. Oh, Jesus. Away we go. Oh, fuck. Shit. Shit. That's alright. We're all good. Rocky start, it's alright. Like I say, we haven't got much time in the Polaris. But we'll try our best. Now, flaps. Up. Where's the fucking landing gear now? Hang on a minute. Oh god. Oh, landing gear. Oh. See that now? That's absolute flying gold. Let's slow down a touch. There's the force down there, look. There it is there. On our tail. Alrighty. We'll head north along the coast. Not roughly following the we'll roughly follow the number 3 highway, which goes along the coast here. So we'll head to the coast. Let me get my map out. This number 3 highway should be pretty obvious to me. Yeah, here it is here. So it's going to be a low commentary stream, really. My goal with this kind of crack lately is just to stream whatever the fuck I'm doing. And if that means just... Hang on a minute, are we following? Yeah, okay, so this road is going to go up and through the mountains. It's going to be pretty obvious to us. Okay, just to stream whatever the hell I'm doing, really, because I do thoroughly enjoy the process of setting it up. I would have been playing this on my own anyhow, you know, so there's no real harm in just either recording it or streaming it, you know, for the crack anyhow. So that's the road we're following. That's the number 3 highway, which we got a little bit of overspeed, which, as far as I can see, goes all the way up through Argentina. We're going to keep it low and as slow as possible because we don't want to miss out on anything. Said, half the pleasure of that New Zealand trip we did last year was just the quick ability to be able to see the countryside, see the towns, see the villages. What's going on here? It's very squirrely. Maybe it's speed. Could also be the fact that I'm probably flying over some of the largest mountain ranges at the moment in South America, at least in Argentina anyway, perhaps. This is not live weather, this is like partial clouds, but that's okay. So this road takes a hard left now. We're going to head straight north. We're going to head east, and north again, until we meet the coast. There's a hard turn ahead of us. Our left. Whoop. Yeah, so we're going to take a left here, head north. Then when we reach that other coast over there, we're going to turn east. Cool. My trim is a little aggressive, I would say. Let's have a look in here. See if we can adjust our trim. How would one do that? Levers. What are you? Flaps? Alright, hang on a minute. Keep this in sight. Okay. Now, where's the trim? Where's the trim? Oh, not too much. What's this? Oxygen. We need that. Throttle. Yeah, let's give it a socks. Trim. Trim. If I keep saying it, it'll just present itself. Where's the trim, Joe Biden? It's normally around here. Pitch, trim, very good. Look, that's what? Oh, look, okay, very good. Let's get that down to 0. Just not 0, but just something that we're not constantly climbing. Yeah, cool. 4%. So we're gonna head east from here, and we'll eventually meet the coast. See that for some pilot skills. crashed. Maybe it's tolerances? They're very fast. Let's pull this down a touch. Ooh, maybe not that much. I did, because I'm not really, you know, let's be honest, I'm not a pilot. My Microsoft Flight Sim experience is very, very casual. I play it all the time, but I play it very casually. I'm not, I thought I had all the tolerances kind of stuff turned off. Let's mess with that trim again a little bit, shall we? Because I'd love to get my vertical speed just to 0. That's fussy. That's a fussy one. Why? Right? Don't fully know what's going on there, but let's just not worry about that. Isn't that, it's the way with most planes, isn't it? Just don't worry about it. So after the end of this big bay or inlet or whatever it is, I'm gonna head north. I think perhaps the vertical speed is because we're very slow. Let's give it a little bit more oomph. $150, 100, 0, okay. Superb. So you can see on the bottom right hand side my vertical speed is at 0, which means I'm not gaining or losing any altitude, which is ideal. Now one thing I do know about this part of the world is that there's lots of wine. Just like on our New Zealand trip last year, we will definitely be stopping for libations. One thing about the Polaris, unlike the Cessna, is that this has a autopilot, which I haven't got an awful lot of experience using. Whoops, steady on there now. I haven't got a lot of experience using in this kind of plane. I've used it in 747s. But not so much in a prop plane. can see this road stretches on way ahead of us, just above the right or the left wing. We'll follow that all the way to the coast. And then from the coast, we're just going to follow it all the way up. Pretty much from here to Buenos Aires. Maybe not today, but at some stage. Now with the autopilot, I wonder, can I just set a few settings? Can I just set standard altitude? If I want to keep flying at 8,500 feet, can I lock that in but still fly the plane manually? I do not know. Rio Grande. We're not going to stop at Rio Grande. But let's, when we get over it, let's have a look on Google Maps and see what's to be had in Rio Grande. Now, I'd say it's a nice place. Well, hello, Rio Grande. What's going on here? So let's have a look. We've had a skinful at the Dublin bar. We're sleepy now. We're going to stay in the status hotel. 70 quid a night. Should we get a 4-star? I'm sure we could do better than that. More hotels. What's this? Art gallery, a little bit of that. Who are you? Something off a boat. Gross. Gross. Want some nightmares? There's your nightmare delivery now. It's art. It is art. It's cool, dude. Yeah, man. Yeah, bye. What's he got on? Adidas. He's got his Adidas on. How are you, Frida? John Jacob Arthur. It's in Spanish. Very nice. Textiles. We like a bit of textile art. Ibiza Social Bowling Club. Lovely. No thanks. I'm not a dessert kind of person. I rarely eat desserts. I should say as well that I'm an absolutely spectacular bowler. Good. It's a lot of it. That's some loose Tuna. Is that Loose Tuna? That's the name of my first album. Loose Tuna. Ibiza. Oh God. I know many people would find that appealing. Certainly not I. Look at this concoction. We've got mini pizzas. We've got asparagus, calamari. What's that? Salmon. It's a fine dish. It's a fine dish. This is supposed to be a bowling alley, but I haven't seen many bowls. Many bowling. Much bowling. What's going on up here? Nothing. Alright, what else we got? Hello there. What's your story? He's a pilot like me. Got a certain kinship to that guy. I know the story. So Argentina. Where do they stand, huh? What's the story here? What is that? COVID-19. And so there was some bad business back there in the day, so we won't dwell on that too much. What about the Grande Hotel? Now this is it. That's okay. That's alright. High ceilings. That's grand, isn't it? Nice carpet. TV. Swimming pool. This is a great place. Now, you'll find me here. Jets. It's got a jet bat. Fabulous. Oops, skip that. Alright, now up the coast. That's Rio Grande. Looks nice, looks nice. We know to visit the Grand Hotel in Rio Grande. We're going to continue on up the coast now. Well, watch out, John. That's our road there. We're going to follow that road. The coast road. Speed is way down. I have so I mentioned I have this flight stick, but one thing I didn't like about it was the throttle. It was tiny, it wasn't great, didn't really have the feel that you'd be looking for, so I 3D printed myself a throttle handle, like a right nerd. And one major downside to that is that there is like a degree where it falls over. Literally, the weight of the 3D print causes the throttle to fall down if it reaches a certain level, but we need to keep an eye on that. Not an awful lot going on down there. I see flooding, or evidence of flooding, which, you know, is experience I gained from our New Zealand trip. It's easy to spot. I'm flying max speed. I don't know if I need that. I'm worried about my throttle, and maybe I should go back to the 3D printing drawing board. Get something that doesn't, maybe an elastic band or something, but I don't want to be messing around with elastic bands. Not at this late age in life. I'm going to be on it. I'm joking. And the thing about these tours is that like I said before, I've said it a few times, I really enjoyed the New Zealand one. I think part of the reason why that worked was I was able to have live weather because it was so far. Am I right in thinking that because it's like the opposite time? Anyway, I was streaming in the evening, and that meant that it was always daytime down there. Hello. Maybe it's my airspeed, but this oh, Jesus, this really does need let's just pump it up, go on. It really needs a lot of throttle action. Or not throttle action, but stick action. I took my hand off the stick there for like a second and lost a serious amount of altitude. I see that we're definitely approaching overspeeding. Let's touch it down a Bring it down a touch. Still following the number 3 highway. This is going to end eventually at a place called Cullen. And from there we're going to join the National 257 highway, which is going to bring us, where's the next major spot? And it's very coastal, there's loads of towns. So we'll keep going, we'll stop eventually somewhere. Along the route. Polaris is an interesting plane because it's like, I do enjoy the simplicity of the Cessna. Maybe when we get up further into North America we'll change to the Cessna, because I know exactly how it performs and how to fly it. You know, they're all the same. They're all the one. If you fly one plane, you can fly them all. But maybe when we get into less cold environments and less harsh weather, we'll change to the Kite. I think it's probably the best bet. But we'll do all of South America in the Polaris at the very least. And then when we get into Central and North America, then we'll change over. And there's plenty to be seen over to the north there, but we're going to leave that for the moment. We're still following, we're going to stay on task and continue to follow the number 3 highway, which becomes a national highway soon enough. But we'll stay the course, we'll stay the course. Actually, I might be mistaken. I think we're like dipping in and out of Chile, and Argentina. I think technically right now I'm in Chile. Not 100% sure. Well, there's ways of finding out, but I'm not too fussed. So when we get to this bay up ahead of us, we're going to stay to the left. That's where the National Road 257 starts, and back to the number 3. And the number 3 highway goes all the way... Goodness me. Oops. Yeah, number 3 goes all the way to Buenos Aires. And that's it below us. That's the number 3 here. Hello. Sorry. It's okay. I could probably just use the autopilot, right? But I'd rather not. I would like to keep it a little bit lower than this. Let's lose some altitude. Keep it around the 8,000s. There's not a great deal to see around here. There's a number 3 highway, which ends just beyond that airport on our right side, and it restarts after on the other side of this bay. Let's lose some height as responsibly as possible. When I was testing now, I did do a test on this yesterday, because I did actually have the notion that the Cessna wouldn't be able to do it, that the air mixture would be too rich. No. Lean. Am I using the incorrect terminology? But you know what I mean. The air would be too thin, which I know that the Cessna struggles with, but I couldn't get in with a couple of miles of, what was that place called? Ushuaia? I mean, it's Spanish, so it's not, I'm saying it like it's fucking Finnish or Swedish. It's not Ushuaia, but it's something similar. Alright, 4,000. So let's bring it up. But I couldn't get within a few miles of the airport. The plane kept crashing. I did mess with the mixture, but it had very little effect. Very, very little effect. And then, of course, I love a bit of research. So I did some research and found out, yeah, sure enough, that kind of plane really struggles to fly in this part of the world. Unlike me. So that's another national road below us. That's the 257 highway, which goes to the west. But since we're doing the Trans-American highway, let's stay on the number 3. But after this bay, that 257 splits off and goes to the west. Yeah, I think technically I'm in Chile. Not technically. Borders are borders. But I'm pretty sure I'm in Chile. Fucking audio, sorry. Pretty sure I'm in Chile. Chile. Maybe that's why it changed to the 257 highway, and then when we get back into Argentina, it's back to the 3. I think that's probably the case, actually. part of the world around here is there like a mega bridge? Isn't there like a mega bridge between Chile and Argentina? I can't Google it right now. said, we'll head southeast along this coast. And then there's a tiny wee gap, which brings us back into Argentina. And we'll join the road. Now I could just fly across here, but I want to follow the actual road as closely as possible. I'm not married to it. But I just want to stick to the route, you know what I mean? So up, not too far away from here, there should be a tiny gap. Which I thought might have a bridge or something. But it looks like a ferry. I was just looking at the ferry times. These mountains here are called the Cerro Sombrero, I believe. Unless I'm reading it wrong, but that's what it looks like. What's your altitude there, pal? I suppose I could, when I fly the 747 all the time. And when I do that, I typically fly it largely through the autopilot. And just make the autopilot adjustments if I want to change altitude or head in a different direction, but not today. We're flying. We're actually flying. I've gone completely the wrong direction. Which I think is absolutely hilarious. Now, I should have been looking at my compass the whole time. I thought I was. We're actually heading back to where we took off from. It's over here. Oh my goodness. How did that happen? How did I get turned around? Maybe I've followed this coast for way too long. That's gas. Alright, well, let me go back and land. Go back and land. Maybe it was all the points I had at all the points I had in the Dublin bar. That's what it is. I thought I was up here. Look, this is where I thought I was. Alright. Let's just head north. Fuck it. Now I would normally have that flight assistant open. We just head north. I just went around in a big circle. Isn't that fabulous? Get that clipped. It must have been around Rio Grande that I got lost. Maybe it's just this part of the world, maybe it's inherently confusing. Maybe I got turned around in some kind of... I think what the thing was that, like, when you follow a road and your compass will say you're headed east, you think, oh, that's not so bad, you know, at least I'm following the road. It's just headed east for the moment, it will turn north, and I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, it was around San Sebastian. That's where I got. It was around San Sebastian Airport. I followed the 152 too far and ended back up on the wrong side of the tracks. clever with the camera angles. That doesn't work. But I did want to try and head a little bit more north. Very easily find myself just veering towards the east. I have to keep it on 0 degrees, really, eh? Come here, you camera. Yeah, San Sebastian. That's where I got turned around. So listen, let's land there. Now I've never landed the Polaris before, and as Indiana Jones said, flying is one thing, landing is another. Let's try this. Ooh, ooh. Okay. Could be too fast. Lots of time. We'll gain lots of speed from this descent. Well, I think we're okay. That's what I like about the Cessna, is that it just, like, it's so stable, it lands itself almost. I think we could be okay. Okay. Alright. Give it one flaps. Lose some speed. What is the so there is like just hotkeys for everything. But I'd rather, like for example, engaging the gear and stuff. I'd rather do that manually from inside the cockpit. But we didn't get very far. We started in what I'm going to call Uppsala. I say it like it's a Finnish place, but it's not. It's Spanish, but not Spanish, but Chilean. And we got to San Sebastian. Well, we're not at San Sebastian yet, so let's not celebrate too quickly or too early. Speed a little bit. Start leveling out now a little bit as well. Okay. One more flaps. Let's do the landing gear just in case it takes forever. Oh fuck. Okay, hang on. Oh shit. Gear. Move. Mouse. Less speed. One more flaps. Speed is all the way off. Full flaps. More speed. Less speed, more speed, less speed. Less. Fuck. Fuck. Okay. Speed. Shit. Lovely job. Now, parking brake. Quick. Lovely. Welcome to San Sebastian Airport. Parking brake is on. Okay. Leave it there in the runway. Well, that was very fruitful. Very, very fruitful indeed. Went around essentially in a great big circle. But listen, more or less than this was anything was. If this was anything, it was a fact-finding mission. But there we go. We'll be back for our second leg. We're going to go from San Sebastian. Let's have a look over here. So we took off. Where did we take off from? Here we are. So we had a lot of points. It was the points in the Dublin pub that did it for me. We flew to San Sebastian. From there, got turned around, followed this road, then this coast. It was around here when I realized that I'd messed up. Went straight north and landed at San Sebastian. So we got a good view of Terra del Fuego. And we flew around there. Alright, listen, we'll see you.